Hey people, injured here, 53, Avensa Stronghold, blue team, it's Nazzjack as a Farseer support commander that fights in melee combat. Lots of great buffs with some debuffs and control abilities too. Looks like this is the Oathway DLC, recolored light blue. Alongside Zevargel is a Chaos Lord, durable and destructive commander, walks through objects and cannot be suppressed on very good offense and disruption, fights mainly in melee combat. And rounding off this blue team, it's Viking as a Chaos Sorcerer, offensive and disruptive commander, lots of great manipulation and control abilities, begins in melee combat and can hurt you pretty bad in general. Red team, couple of Imperial Guard players. First up is Noisy as an Inquisitor, offensive commander, lots of great control abilities, begins in melee combat but can get ranged weapons, has some support here and there too. The other Imperial Guard player is Sentinel Enforcer as a Lord Commissar, very good offense, fights in melee combat, begins with a refractor field, has some awesome support as well. And rounding off the red team in the center here, it's Marutectz as a Force Commander, very good offense, fights in melee combat, can also tank, disrupt and support with buffs. And this is the ever awesome Ultramarines DLC from Relic. Zevargel getting a bit too close there with his CSM, going to be easily tied up. Big misplay from Zevargel, has a big chunk of heavy cover right here to sit in and decides not to. None of the Chaos players going for the second Heretic squad early on here, so I'm guessing straight into Havocs for Zevargel since he's the mid player, and you see Viking there with double CSM. Marutectz could go for that Storm Shield if we do see the Havocs. Double Sentinel up for both of the Imperial Guard players, I should say. Noisy loves, oh, he already has the Holy Brazier. Was going to say he loves using the Holy Brazier with the Inquisitor. Crossbow bolt pistol is always tempting when there's Banshees on the field, but that Holy Pyre is awesome. 4 DPS, as you can see. It lasts like 20 seconds though, and reduces damage by 20% of enemies caught in it. Can really swing engagements. It's usually better to try and bait it out and then just run away from it. Don't engage while it's active. Not sure what the cooldown on it is, but you should be able to wait it out and then get in and do your engagement and hopefully have a better time. These Tactical Marines here using their Kraken rounds to do 20% more damage to heavy infantry. It's one of the ways they can be superior to Chaos Space Marines early on in engagements. Scouts in what would technically be heavy cover, since those sandbags are heavy cover items. The barbed wire is a light cover item, but the sandbags will override them there. Oh, Banshee's wiped out on that side. You can see, you saw the stun effect, so they got hit by a stomp, and I'm guessing by the Holy Pyre as well. Nazzjack with an early loss on that west side. I do not think it's worth replacing them either. Get some Rangers up to put pressure on the Sentinel and the Inquisitor from range, I guess. Havocs are up from Zevargel. In fact, he's going double Havocs. So already we see the Chainsword and Storm Shield from Marutectz. Also getting Artificer Armor, gives him some more health and more energy. Very popular choice for obvious reasons. Just makes your Force Commander better at doing stuff. Gets in amongst these Havocs here. Nicely done, using the massive defensive buff and suppression immunity of the Storm Shield. I think blue team are going to be able to power through here, though the Force Commander might go down in retreat. Going to be taking a lot of fire as he runs away. He does get a passive damage reduction, I think, from the Storm Shield, or was that removed? It used to give a 20% passive range damage resistance to the Force Commander, I think, at some point in time. But he does get away there. Went down to as low as 2 hit points, I think. It's Grenade Launcher Heretics with Aspiring Champion for Zevargel. And some Scout Snipers for Marutectz. Going to try and pick off some CSM from range, I guess. Sentinel needs to be kind of careful. Scouts are going to be forced off here too, but will they drop a model? No, they don't. And blue team are able to sweep through the middle, but look at this west side. Noisy decapping and capping everything up. He's gone for Banshees again, and they already have their aspect. He's going to run into another Pyre though. What is he going to do about it? Some Guardsmen moving up here. And there is the Pyre. Did not see the Hammer of the Witches go off. Maybe I just missed it. Oh, and the Guardsman buff there, I think by for the Emperor from Marutectz's force commander. Nicely done by Marutectz. Not sure if it helped, but those Banshees certainly lost a whole bunch of hit points, and the Farseer went down. And they're still buffed by it, as you can see. I think it's a 25% damage buff. Really nice when you can buff allies with those global things. So the enemy will often not expect that kind of thing. Especially with a war boss, when he can drop hard boys and use the choppers on Banshees or something crazy. Heretics forced to retreat, getting a little bit too close there from Zevargel. Might want to bring some of his Havocs over to this west side. There's two players here. Chaos Lord is retreating off. Sorcerer going for the revive on the Farseer, and that will level him to 2. Players starting to go tier 2. Now Marutectz going with just tactical marines. Did get a sniper rifle. Did pimp out his force commander a little bit, but when you have a map like this where you have really frantic close quarters fighting, you can get away with a light tier 2 because you can quickly come out. Even though you have a small army, you can quickly move out and contest areas and then just retreat off before you lose anything, which lets you get tier 2 in good time and get something out in tier 2. You see the same thing in Angel Gate. Players will go very, very light tier 1 with the relatively safe power, that this power is not too safe on this map, especially on the flanks. You get that one pretty safe power on Angel Gate and the other one not so much. 433, 420. We have a generator on this central power here. Don't see that very often, especially that early. Chimera on the way for Noisy. Sentinel enforced with some stormtroopers and a Chaos Dreadnought for Viking. Was buffed in 2.4.2, of course. The autocannon now with a wider area of effect, which does help it out quite a lot, especially against enemy heretics and that kind of thing that can tend to bunch up a hell of a lot. Wow, scouts almost going down. Combi Flamer doing some work. I guess we're going to see the Armored Inferno in tier 2 as well, but look at the effect this force commander is having on these engagements with that Storm Shield, able to just waltz up to these Havocs and tie them up, but he is forced off there. Tactical Marines do get the cap. Chimera pushing through the mid from Noisy, getting right in the face of these Havocs. Banshees are there though, and once they get their Exarch in tier 2, they are going to have an Executioner Spear. Gets out, drops the Holy Pyre, and that's a sail as well, but it was cancelled as the Inquisitor got back into her Chimera. Here's the Chaos Dreadnought though, armed with that very scary looking close combat weapon and an auto cannon. That close combat weapon, I believe, doing 73 heavy melee DPS, no splash damage of course, but in the hands of a Sorcerer, it can do some very nasty things with the Mark of Khorne Dreadnought. So we might be seeing one of those. CSM are wiped though. Viking losing one of his CSM squads. Not expecting that burst damage perhaps from those stormtroopers with their assault kit. That was nasty. Plasma cannon straight up in tier 2 from Marutectz. Plague Marines on the field for Viking to help contest against this Chimera. Stone Guard veterans now from Marutectz, with their default Kraken rounds for now. Noisy with a Manticore on the way. Going to be able to decap this VP, I think, maybe. There we go. 395, 398. Nazzjack with a Falcon on the field. Has a decent army up. Has been under a lot of pressure though. We see Vengeance rounds loaded in on the Stone Guard veterans, doing some damage to that Dreadnought, which needs repairs here. And I think it is a good idea to get the Mark of Khorne going. Will give his army and his allies' army a big spearhead to lead them into the fights, draw a lot of fire, and then if he keeps his Sorcerer in a good place, can teleport it out with the warp. Although I don't think he has a red to do that right now. No, I think it's 100 red at least. I always forget how much it is. Look at this with this super buffy Force Commander with the Sacred Standard giving that passive 25% damage buff. That is pretty awesome, especially in a team battle when you could be supporting 3 armies with that buff. Not to mention the Chainsword and Storm Shield doing its thing. Big engagement towards this west side now. Red team trying to make a run. Manticore strike, that's bad news for that Falcon. Might take it out. Almost did. That was so close. Sentinel might be able to get the last missile hit. No. Was path blocked, I think, a bit there by the Chimera. We saw a sail go off again. That's from the Excruciators. Really awesome ability. Does need to be channeled, though. If you move your Inquisitor, it will stop that assail. Noisy now with double Stormtroopers. Wow. That is a heavy tier 2. Chimera, Manticore, double Stormtroopers, not to mention an upgraded Sentinel and Inquisitor. Tier 3 though for Sentinel Enforcer, Marutectz. Get him some Devastators on the field. Is he going to get a las cannon? Doesn't look like it. Right now anyway. Forced to retreat there. Oh, drops a model even. What are these Plague Marines up to? Going for the power, I guess. These are Zevargels coming from the middle. You have a Plague Marine squad from each of the Chaos players. Gives you that awesome capping and general durability in the field with some anti-vehicle damage. This Dreadnought has gone a bit mental here. Forcing off the plasma cannon. Nicely done. Not a whole lot in the field that can threaten it, apart from that Manticore, I guess. Sentinel missile launcher can also do some business. Oh, look at this. Force Commander switching to the Power Fist. 85 heavy melee DPS and doing big chunks of damage to that Dreadnought without its melee resistance. West side kicking off. That is a sail on the Banshees. We can't see the effect properly for some reason, but that is what it was. That's why the Banshees were doing a little jig there. Chimera, I think that's Doom on it. Is that Doom? Oh, I think the Farseer is inside the Falcon, so I can't see what she has. There is the let the galaxy burn. Wants to let the whole galaxy burn. Kind of a glass half empty dude, that Chaos Lord, isn't he? Guardsmen running away. Stone Guard veterans do decap the mid. I don't think they want to stand there and cap it though with autocannon Haverick shooting at you. Look at that. They are so bunched up. That's so risky. Oh, they don't have line of sight anymore. He got the cap. He judged it well. 256 to 364. Down goes a Sentinel. And it is the Doombringer up for the Farseer level 3. Also with Rune Armor and Spirit Stones. 250 to 364. Noisy defensive power. What is this? A bunker? I guess it... No. More Stormtroopers called in from Noisy. Losing one of his Guardsmen. Losing his Sentinel. Now has triple Stormtroopers running around. Two of them, in fact, with the assault kit, gives them that tasty frag grenade and those longer range hotshot las guns. Increases weapon range by 20% and reduces weapon cooldown to 0. I did not know that, so you can't really even suppress these guys effectively to stop them firing. 237 to 364. That is scary, scary DPS on those Banshees. Grenades in retreat path. Boom, boom, boom. Does not finish them off. But that was pretty cool to see. Let's cap mid, says Viking. Easier said than done, I think. Devastator trying to get a shot off, but can't quite manage it. We have autocannon heavy weapon. There is Malignant Blindness from the Chaos Lord. Good time to use it. Plasma Cannon not able to fire here, as you can see. Still wants to tie that thing up as soon as possible. That shot certainly hit though, and that's a Manticore as well. Plague Marines getting absolutely wrecked, but they did decap, and now the Chaos Lord is in amongst stuff, and he looks pissed off. Gonna try and revive the Sorcerer here, I think, but he's gonna go down doing it, and that was a big misplay. The damage from those Stormtroopers is insane. That's piercing damage, and look how quickly it took down that Chaos Lord. With Commander Armor, he will have quite large resistance, I think, to piercing damage. There wasn't enough to save him. Farseer might be able to come and revive both of them. And with Spirit Stones, we'll be getting a whole lot of XP. Look at that. 237 to 347. Down she goes. She even healed herself and couldn't stop the death. Stormtroopers are scary. Might want some Raptors up. Chaos dudes, although they are both in tier 3, so I guess Chaos Terminators with autocannon is going to be pretty damn tempting. Look at this. Very sneaky webway gate from Nazzjack. And the Banshee sprinting out of it, getting a decap. Is he going to go looking for that webway? Not going to be easy to find over there. 237 to 328. Guardsmen reinforcing 3 at a time off the Chimera, but they are persuaded to leave that VP alone. 237 to 317. It's a double cap for blue. Can't quite get the triple. Doesn't want to eat those hotshot lasgun shots from the stormtroopers there, and they will retake. Could also inspire courage to double their damage, of course, with the Lord Commissar. Oh, Leman Russ on the field for Sentinel and Enforcer. Yet more stormtroopers. Falcon with the energy field up. Chaos Sword levels to 5, reviving that Farseer. Blue team have lost their commanders a hell of a lot of times. But they do have that 2-to-1. VP's very close. And that webway could be a massive, massive deal for the blue team on that side. Gonna allow Nazzjack to constantly harass that natural VP. It's only the one Manticore they have right here, it is. So once they see the Manticore go off, they can relatively safely push in and not have to worry about more Manticore strats. They of course do not know that there's only one Manticore for sure. It does have the Storm Eagle upgrade. This Dreadnought is still in its default state, level 2, doing well. Might want to get Marco of Zinch to help combat that tank. Chaos Sword goes down to that crazy piercing damage, and look at this, not even the tanky Plague Marines can stand up to it with a sail on them as well, getting a shot off on the Chimera. We'll need to be so careful there. Force Commander very low, level 4. Might want to just retreat off at this point, I think. Down to 4 hit points, and he's still going in there. Does he just want to die for the 40% damage buff? It might be, yep. Now the Stormtroopers have a 40% damage buff. But now they don't. The Force Commander's back to his feet. Now it's back to just 25, he says. That is really helping him just explode these units. What is the range on that buff? Does it tell me on the tooltip? Radius 25, not bad at all. Manticore goes off. Blue team really struggling to hold the line against all these stormtroopers, kicking some serious ass. Marcus Zinch Dreadnought will help. We'll be able to suppress them with Frenzy Barrage. But they are just inching forward here. No Raptors at all. They're both going for Phoboses, in fact. Gonna do a job. That's for sure. Force Commander can cripple it with the Power Fist, Flesh over Steel, and then Manticore could fire, but there's not a whole lot else that could threaten it, really. I guess a Leman Russ is a big threat, and a Baneblade on the way for Sentinel Enforcer. Marutectz is floating quite a lot here. Could get a Land Red Redeemer up, which would give his team massive field presence there. Fire Prism on the field for Nazzjack. The first Phobos is up on the field, and it's Zevargel pushing this west side, bashing power. And why not? Doesn't really want to approach the mid. Try and push the flanks. Uh-oh, Banshees getting their Exarch as they retreat, which might save them, but that is so much damage, and they do go down in retreat. Using that gate, obviously, but they went down. They did get a decap though. Force Commander is still level 4. Might get a massive engagement if these Phoboses decide to push against that Leman Russ. Manticore Strike goes off, destroying archways and stuff. There's that Fire Prism, which will really help them stop caps. I think the Battle Cry will stop the Force Commander being knocked over by that Fire Prism, but I don't think that's long enough to finish a cap. There's Doom on the Leman Russ. Push the Phoboses on it. I don't think they realise that debuff is there. Fire Prism doing a good job. As you can see, Plague Marines exploded by the Stormtroopers. This is freaking scary. Now a heavy weapon squad for Noisy. Gonna go for a las cannon, I guess. Have they even seen the Phoboses yet? They might have seen one of them. Boom. Viking asking for the push. And here it is. Leman Russ needs to move the hell back. There we go. Still under threat. Marutectz going for some Terminators, not the Landway Redeemer, or at least not yet. Cyclone Missile Barrage. This Phobos getting awfully close. What is it up to? Gonna go down, and does go down. That's how quickly a Phobos can bite the dust in a team game, but that is a pretty nasty Imperial Abyss from Zevargel. Just eating up a Guardsman squad, I think. And takes out the Plasma Cannon too. And I think the Leman Russ goes down. Frantic action here. Blue team actually doing a pretty good job despite that Phobos loss. They did get the decat. They took out a bunch of stuff for that pretty decent nuke. Down goes the Leman Russ. Even it up quite nicely. Chaos Lord hitting level 8. Phobos desperately needs repairs. That is a really tempting nuke target. Although with double Imperial Guard, the rocket run is not the greatest versus vehicles. Can certainly finish one off. But since it's spread over a large area by design, it's much better at demolishing infantry. And there's a whole bunch of infantry there. West side, Noisy pushing the natural VP. Down goes that Shuriken. And he's going to get the decat. Look at this. Another sneaky webway down here. Force Commander is down, giving that 40% damage buff. Zevargel getting another Phobos. Marutectz getting some lag, I think it seems. 192 to 258. Stormtroopers being scary again. Oh, but they are forced to retreat. There we go. They don't want to fight a Fire Prism, or two even. Gonna knock them flying and do a whole bunch of damage to them. Not the most durable of units, but you can see why. They have scary damage potential. These guys are going to get owned by that autocannon. Grenade goes off, does take out a model, but these guys will set up again. There we go. Manticore Strike. In a whole blob of juicy targets. Didn't seem to do a whole lot though. Might want another one of those. Maybe Sentinel should get one. Still has his Baneblade sitting mid. 192 to 251. Blue team have the mid. They have the 2-to-1 cap. I think Noisy, yep, he's going to push that west side again. He needs to, I think, sit on this west side. Make Nazzjack take his Fire Prisms over there permanently. Although he doesn't have much staying power against them. So the moment they do go over there, he's probably going to need to retreat out. Stone Guard veterans going for the decap. Eating Fire Prism shots, so I don't think they'll be able to do it. Phobos moving in. Those scary twin las cannons on the side sponsons. Not seen it use the Dirge Caster yet. It's taking big chunks of damage from that Baneblade and backs the hell off. Another Phobos there hitting the field for Zevargel. That is, Judgment on the Fire Prism. This is from the Inferno pistol. Las Cannon now getting shots on rear armor. Boom. Might take out this Falcon. Does take out the Falcon. There we go. Now the Fire Prisms might get taken out. Is he struggling to move it here? I think he was. Now the other one is taking hits. And of course with this shield, they can't be knocked over by the Fire Prisms. Pretty damn good counter to Fire Prisms, this thing, and down it goes. Holy crap, with that shield they become really scary. Give that last cannon a promotion. Took out a Falcon and a Fire Prism pretty much single-handedly there. 192 to 175, kicking off in the middle again. That is a Force Commander Terminator, really? That's surprising to see, considering the stuff that Marutectz had, and he's lost his Terminators somehow. Did not even see them go down. Maybe you caught it on the screen, but I certainly did not notice it. I guess the Phobos could have stunned them, and then of course they can't retreat out of it, so they would have got shot to pieces. But yeah, surprised to see that Terminator Force Commander, considering the war gear that the Force Commander had there. 186 to 173. The Terminator Force Commander is a very, very good general combat unit. I mean, you do get a lot. You get the teleporter, you get suppression immunity, you can retreat out, you get a big pile of hit points, an effective storm bolt, a big chunk of piercing damage, and 85 DPS heavy melee. But you are paying 100 power for all of that. You do get a lot though. And if you haven't upgraded your force commander a lot, can be a good choice. Down goes a Baneblade, down goes a Fire Prism. Just frantic action. Marutectz getting some Devastators up. I guess a Las Cannon. Double Phobos is no joke in the mid. Sentinel and Enforcer going for a Leman Russ. I think he should get a Manticore up. Ouch. Whoa. Oh, CSM drop in a blink of an eye. And Noisy is continuing to put pressure on this west side. I think it's a drop on Ortog or something, Nazzjack. Although she might get shot down in seconds by these Stormtroopers. Look at the damage on the Farseer there. Scary stuff. The Fire Prism does not want to get close because of the Las Cannon. Here comes some Seer Council. Stopped in their tracks by a sail and now shot to absolute crap by these Stormtroopers. Why did he keep them in play there? There's the Ortog drop. Nicely done. Wants to try and tie up the Las Cannon, but look at that. Hammer of the Witches into Stormtrooper fire. Scary. Really struggling to deal with it, and for good reason. 157, 155. VPs are tied up right now. We have a Blastmaster on the field. Wow, that was a nice shot. Stone Guard veterans might wipe out here. Looks like they will get away. Barely. Yes, they do. Nazzjack just cannot take this VP back. Here comes Zevargel with a level 9 Chaos Lord to help out. Down goes that Fire Prism. Taking out vehicles left and right. And all he had was a Las Cannon and the Inferno Pistol pretty much. Damage on this Chaos Lord now. Oh boy. Level 3 Stormtroopers all around. That's crazy. There's that Legacy Burn. And there's a Psychic Storm. That is a really good tool in her arsenal to use there. Nice little flank here from Viking with double Plague Marines. This Dreadnought is still going. Level 4 Marco Zinch Dreadnought. Awesome to see. A Phobos did go down there. Every time I look away from a specific area, it seems like a unit goes down. 122 to 155. Single cap for red team here. Blue team will get their natural back. That is a nuke from Viking. Not a very good one, looks like. Most of the things avoided it, but did take down the Lord Commissar. Surprised they didn't just put it on the VP. The Stone Guard veterans finishing the cap. That is heroic. For whatever reason, the Noise Marines were not set up to fire there. Not sure why. 112, 155. Another Leman Rush for Sentinel, Enforcer, and Noisy continues the pressure on this west side. Here is a Chaos Predator from Zevargel with the Mark of Nurgle. Good choice, I think, versus all these Stormtroopers. Although that last cannon is still around, right? Maybe it isn't. Did it go down? Maybe it did. I don't see it here. What's this? Manticore coming over to the west side. Ortok using that gate to get a decap. A bunch of dead Banshees. Terminator Force Commander. What is he up to? Just being annoying. Being really annoying. Teleports out. Oh, nuke! That's from Zevargel again. And disintegrates that autocannon in seconds. Whirlwind now in the mid from Marutectz. Will help them stop caps, of course. Surprised we've not seen any Raptors whatsoever from the Chaos players. The nuke dissipates. But helps them get the decap at least, I think. Can the Whirlwind hit those Plague Marines? They are very bunched up. Yes, it can. 88 to 155. Constant repairs for this Dreadnought. Up to 31 hit points. They did get the decap. And here comes Stone Guard veterans to try and take it back. But with that Blastmaster there, surely they are not going to be able to. No, misfires for some reason. But they did not get it anyway. West side, meanwhile, these triple Stormtroopers continue to scare the crap out of everything. Rocket run. First rocket run I've seen. And a pretty good one too. Forced a bunch of stuff away. I'm sure they'd love to have a Plague Champion right now. They could have a Nurgle Shrine right here. and they could have that pestilent strike to help them cap. Phobos doing its thing with the Dirge Caster, but needs some repairs badly, and those guys are not repairing, I don't think. Uh-oh, Manticore Strike is going to finish off the Phobos, I think. Or was that just a Basilisk Flare? Yes, it was a flare. I was fooled. None shall fall now, in effect from the Lord Commissar's level 7 with that Fist of Brockus, 88 to 145. Oh, look at this. Sneaky Autarch gets the full cap on that east side now. There's the 2 to 1. Oh, is the Dreadnought going to go down finally? Taking las cannon hits. Manticore Strike does not finish off the Phobos. The Dreadnought is moving out now. Phobos might go down still though. Las cannon is getting shots there. And if you put 4D Emperor on it, oh, did not put it on. Did not get that last shot anyway though. Nurgle Predator. We're going to try and drive down this west side and scare off those very, very scary Stormtroopers. 88 to 127. The first D-cannons we've seen. And there's 2 of them. And they are protecting this west side. Might want to bring one of them mid. That's a orbital from Marutectz. Almost runs his own Stone Guard veterans right into it. That is going to kill that Phobos. It's not going to survive the blast. He needs to move it out of there. He's not moving it though. Zevargel with a big mistake. I don't think he was paying attention to it. That's why he was paying attention to his Chaos Predator here. It is getting way too close to stuff. This Inquisitor has that Inferno pistol getting rear armor hits. And down it goes. 67, 127. A bit foolhardy there from Zevargel. He does have tons of resources though. Down goes that Predator tank. Might want to put a D cannon in the mid. Looks like one is coming to the mid in fact. This Dreadnought is still going from Viking. And more Phoboses. Why not? Another one from Zevargel. Been seeing him with a hell of a lot recently in team games. How much resources Noisy has. Can't really get anything super tasty on the field though with just 15 pop to spend. 61, 127. There's that Dirge Caster. Won't stop them capping though, which is a bit weird. Stunning something doesn't actually stop it capping as long as it stays in range of the cap. There's the Fist of Brockus though. None shall fall. Saving all of this stuff from death. You want to try and shoot down that Commissar whenever you see him with this weapon. Can be much easier said than done if he's in a whole mound of Guardsmen like this. Grenade launchers doing their thing. None shall fall. It's still in effect, but it's not affecting these guys right now. And they almost wiped out. Get away with 1 hit point. Chaos Sorcerer trying to cap with Demon Armor, but cannot do it. What's going on west side now? Farseer getting in amongst stuff. She's level 10. See a council there. They can of course benefit from the spiritual rights heal. Nice grenade though. Beautifully done. He does retain his VP. And can steal this bunker as well if he wants. There we go. Stolen. Can now reinforce of it. 61 to 127. Stormtroopers taking big chunks of damage off the las cannons when they hit. And that Blastmaster as well, of course. Assault Terminators on the field of Marutectz. Where are they? They're right here. With Storm Shields and Thunderhammers. Those Thunderhammers are heavy melee Thunderhammers. Unlike the Force Commander's Thunderhammer, which is power melee. One of the inconsistencies in Dawn of War 2. Kind of like the Executioner Spears. The Autarch's Executioner is power melee and the Banshee's Executioner is heavy melee. 61, 127. Red team have the mid. So much destruction over there. The game has spread out a little bit in these, well, I would say closing moments, but this game is going on and on. Nobody can hold VPs consistently here. Double Phobos is back in effect. Another Baneblade on the way for Sentinel Enforcer. And that Chimera Beacon is still going from Noisy. Taking back his bunker. There we go. Can he get the cap though? I don't think he's going to be able to. That fire prism should be able to stop anything capping. And here comes a Phobos over to the west side maybe. Stops, thinks about it, then is coming over I think. 43, 127, 2-1 cap for red team. Can they see this out? No, there's a decap. They can't see this out, at least not yet. Boom. Really good Blastmaster shot. Lightning Claw Terminators teleporting in. That is super, super risky. Now they can't teleport out. And Dirgecaster might stun them here. No sign of it though. You've got to use that Dirgecaster Viking. Has he already used it? Maybe he has. Level 5 Sorcerer does have the Tome of Subjugation. A Sorcerer can do some very, very nasty things to Terminators all by himself with Subjugation and Chains of Torment and that kind of stuff. Manticore Strike on those Heretics. Boom. Judgment is up on that Phobos and it took a hit from the Manticore missiles. I think those Heretics were wiped. Yes, they were. Zevargel is down to just 2 units on the field. Havocs, level 4 and a Phobos. That Dreadnought is still going. Red team have the mid though, 26 to 127. Down goes the Phobos. Yes, not sure what he was trying to do there. Drops a nuke, but easily dodged by Noisy. Now all the Stormtroopers are level 4, right? Yeah. Insane damage here. 18, 127, and this is without Lord General buffs and stuff like that. That is with just the Inquisitor leading a line. Blue team trying desperately to decap the middle, but there's so much stuff there to shoot the crap out of them. Plague Marines do not last long. Terminator is dropping a model, but they're continuing to push the pace. Dropping another model. Again, the Dirgecaster does not go off. Here's the second Baneblade. Phobos backs the hell away from it. Baneblade with tons more hit points will outshoot a Phobos if it comes to that, but not very often. You'll just see them stand there shooting at each other. And blue team are very, very thin. Zevargel down to 2 units. Viking down to 4, but did just get a Chaos Predator onto the field, but they've run out of time and they've run out of VPs. There is a 2-1 at the end, giving the red team the victory. Holy crap, that was frantic. And I'm sure I missed tons of it. So where's the Force Commander Terminator? He was right there with an assault cannon. Look at the heroes end of the game. Level 10 Farseer. Level 10 Chaos Lord. Are they all going to be level 10? No, level 5 Sorcerer. Inquisitor got level 9. She had Purgatus at the end and the Mandate. We had that Terminator Force Commander who can't level and a level 9 Lord Commissar. There you have it, guys. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.